movie trailers are supposed to get us excited. They're meant to be a tease, build anticipation, and convince us to buy a ticket to this film. But lately, more and more people walk out of the trailer feeling like they already have seen the entire movie. But why? Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to AustinPlus Commentary, where today we are answering, I think, a very common question, and one that I'm going to be honest, I've actually been asked to do this video, so here it is. Are trailers too revealing nowadays, or are they just right? Now, I am a firm believer that trailers are way too revealing these days, and it's insane, and I don't appreciate it, because I like watching trailers. However, Marvel do it right, but there is many people that do it wrong. So, let's talk about if this is actually the case. So trailers say, we'll give it 10 years back. Older trailers often relied on the mood rather than the information at hand. They teased the concept of the movie, the characters, and the tone without really spelling out any major plot points. Audiences were expected to discover the story in the theatre, in the cinema, where they're supposed to experience it. And not beforehand, nowhere near beforehand. Other than when someone spoils the movie, which happens more often than not. But this sense of mystery made movies feel unpredictable and exciting. But part of that came from the limitations, fewer trailers, less internet discussion, and no instant frame-by-frame analysis. Yeah, I'm a contributor of that, so I do apologize. But it also reflected a different philosophy. Trailers were an invitation, not summaries. And I honestly think that's where people are getting lost these days. Nowadays, it is all about plot-heavy marketing, and that is what we've shifted towards. Modern trailers tend to explain much more. Character motivations, story arcs, twists, and even emotional climaxes are often clearly laid out like a book in 2 or 3 minutes. Now, this isn't accidental. Studios want to reduce uncertainty and make sure that audiences know exactly what they're paying for. In an era of high ticket prices and endless entertainment options, clarity can feel far safer than mystery. But the more people understand a movie structure, the easier it is to sell. However, if we are going back a bit, I don't think that is the most crucial way to do it. I think the way trailers used to be beforehand is perfect. You have the way that they are structured, you have the way that the characters are motivated. Keep the character motivations in there. That makes sense. Not the whole story arc, because then it's the most predictable stuff, and most stories are predictable these days, even when you're in the theater. Now, going back to the line of to make sure audiences know exactly what they're paying for, because there are some people, if they know exactly what they're going into, they're more than likely to pay for it. But that just takes away the whole idea of making a movie and watching the movie itself. So that's why I think it's so counterproductive. I get it from both sides, but it also doesn't make sense. You're better off going the other way around. But that's just me. However, I can't be the only one that thinks this, right? There's 2 types of people that actually go to watch these movies. Even with these really revealing trailers these days, there is the fear of spoilers, and then there's the need for more context. Now, I'm going to tell you now, the need for more context is definitely not high up there on that list. Some viewers want to go in blind, while others want some reassurance. Now, trailers now try to satisfy both, but often end up leaning towards over-explaining. But what feels like helpful context to one viewer can feel like a spoiler to another. Now, this creates a constant tension in marketing, because if a trailer reveals too little, it risks confusion or disinterest. But if it reveals too much, it risks killing the surprise and emotional impact altogether. Now, the biggest biggest movie I'm going to nitpick is The Flash. The Flash movie released in 2023, the Funko Pop selection. Obviously, the people that make the Funko Pops are going to know what happens and the characters that are involved in it. I think that's the extent. I obviously don't work there. I do not know. But they revealed that there was going to be Dark Flash, this character, that character, 2 months before the film actually released. And I think that, no, not 2 months. I think it was 2 weeks before the official trailer dropped, and we still didn't see Dark Flash. And it's all that people were talking about. Now, I think Dark Flash would have been a very good teaser and someone we didn't see. But also, the Funko Pop kind of looked a bit shit. But also, I understand that was just a big spoiler. We knew Dark Flash was going to be in there, even though in the film it would have been much better if we didn't. It would have been a much better story. But it's just really counterproductive these days. Now, in terms of social media analysis, the way that we consume trailers have really completely changed. They're so different now compared to 10 years ago. Trailers are like they are just dissected and broken down and replayed within minutes of release. And studios are aware of this, and trailers are often designed to withstand scrutiny. But filled with reveals that want to spark online conversation is kind of what it's all about, especially nowadays. And people that make trailers have to adapt. Ironically, this can make trailers feel even more revealing, and what might seem subtle in a theater becomes obvious once the internet collectively breaks it down. Unfortunately, I am a contributor to that, and I do apologize, but I like making content and I love sharing my thoughts of trailers because I am just that big of a nerd. So I do apologize on my part in this. However, I'm not saying stop. I think the production of trailers need to adapt. That is what I'm saying. Now, is there a that when a film actually reveals too much that actually hurts the movie itself? Yes, as I said, The Flash. But some films actually really heavily rely on twists, reveals, and emotional turns. But when trailers give those moments away so clearly, the movie loses part of its power. But shock turns into expectation, and discovery turns into confirmation. In these cases, the trailers doesn't enhance the experience at all. It just competes with it. The audience watches the movie waiting for moments they already know are basically coming. I had like 2 years of that. I ended up stopped watching trailers for a while until I started reacting to them on YouTube, but I honestly just gave up. I did give up for a while. Now, that isn't to say that when they do reveal more, that it sometimes can help. But not every movie suffers from the revealing trailer. Some films are about the execution rather than the surprise, but knowing the general plot can actually increase the anticipation, especially for character-driven stories or big spectacle films, i.e. Avengers Doomsday. The plot was leaked a while ago, and everyone's so much more excited for it because it's been leaked. So now that people know, they want to see it come to action. They want to see it amazingly executed. And in these cases, trailers function more like promises, setting expectations and ensuring viewers get what they want from it. And for the right kind of movie, clarity can be a strength rather than a flaw. I think a very important question, but a very harsh question as well, is are trailers perfect for the era that we're in right now? From a business perspective, modern trailers are extremely effective, but they generate buzz, dominate social feeds, and maximize opening weekend turnouts. From the creative perspective, however, they often sacrifice the favor of certainty. The question isn't whether trailers are objectively worse, they are just whether they prioritize marketing success over audience expectation or experience. So, are trailers too revealing these days, or are they just perfect? Trailers today are doing exactly what they're designed to do. They sell movies efficiently in a crowded entertainment landscape. Whether it's too revealing depends on what you value more, surprise or reassurance. Trailers may not be broken, but they are optimized, sometimes at the cost of mystery. The answer is probably both, but they're better than ever selling movies, but worse than ever preserving the surprise. And in trying to show us everything, they might be taking one of the best parts of watching a movie in the first place. But without further ado, folks, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what else you'd like to see on this channel. But don't forget to have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Yeah.